Hello guys, good day to you all. We are going to the village called Doel. Actually, it's an abandoned city. It's famous now for being they call it the Verlaten Stad, but it's never gonna happen because there are still people who are living there. So now I'll give you a background of the village, history, the current situation now, and what are the new plans for this Verlatenstad or the abandoned city Doel. You find it here in Belgium.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I'm not falling, I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going life. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. Back a year ago.
Doel, a village in the Flemish province of East Flanders, Belgium, traces its origins back to the early 13th century, gradually expanding after enduring several floods. Situated near the Schelde River in the Waasland polder, the area was reclaimed from the water in the 17th century. For centuries, Doel was relatively self-sufficient community with its population peaking at over 2,500 in the late 19th century. However, the mid-20th century brought significant changes with plans to extend the port of Antwerp into the area, leading to the proposed demolition of Doel. Despite fierce resistance from residents and various legal battles, the village faced a steady decline in population as many inhabitants left due to the uncertainty surrounding its future. While many surrounding areas were untimely demolished for port expansion, Doel remarkably persisted, becoming somewhat of a ghost town, adorned with street art in its abandoned buildings, yet still home to a small number of resilient residents. somewhat surreal atmosphere. After decades of threatened demolition due to the expansion of the port of Antwerp, a 2022 agreement has allowed the village to remain, albeit with a significantly reduced population. Many of the houses stand abandoned, creating a ghost town-like environment that has paradoxically attracted street artists who have adorned the empty buildings with vibrant murals. Nature is slowly reclaiming some areas, with vegetation growing through cracks and in deserted structures. However, a small but resilient community still calls Doel their home. Recent estimates from early 2024 suggest the population is around 110 to 185 people in Doel itself, with a slightly larger number in the surrounding hamlets that constitute the wider Doel sub-municipality. These remaining residents are now looking towards rebuilding and attracting new inhabitants, hoping to revitalize the village while coexisting with the nearby port and a planned green buffer zone. While the 2022 deal provided the framework for Doel's continued existence, the latest developments indicate a slow but ongoing process of revitalization rather than a rapid transformation. Regarding the return of homeowners, in May 2024, the Flemish government announced a plan to allow former residents or their heirs to buy back their properties from the Maatschappij Linkerskeldehoever or MLSO, the left bank corporation that originally acquired homes for port expansion. The claim is to facilitate the return of residents and contribute to the village's revival. Renovation rather than new construction appears to be the current focus. In September 2024, the renovation of the first house in Doel began as part of the agreements made in 2022. This pilot project aims to make the house fully habitable and serve as a model for future renovations. The Flemish government intends to renovate more houses to encourage residency. As of now, there are no reports of large-scale government-built housing projects in Doel. The emphasis seems to be on enabling former residents to return and potentially attracting new inhabitants through the availability of renovated homes. The revitalization is envisioned as a gradual process, respecting the existing character of the village while adapting to its new context alongside the Port of Antwerp and the planned green buffer zone. While there was a plan to phase out all nuclear power plants by 2025, this was delayed. It is worth noting that Doel is also home to Belgium's nuclear power stations. There are ongoing discussions about potentially extending the life of other nuclear plants and even building new reactors in Belgium, which could have a long-term implications for the region surrounding Doel.
Way back a year ago,